coach. I've been getting a lot of questions recently about board certification and if you need to be certified in order to practice as a health coach. I know there's also some confusion around certification in general and whether or not after your training you are certified or not, and if you can call yourself a certified health coach. Well, I hope to bring some clarity to these points today. So I'll start by saying that much of this confusion around certification comes from the fact that health coaching is, for the most part, an unregulated industry, and there are many different trainings and courses that you can take, some of which are health coaching certifications and some are certificates. So let's begin by clarifying the difference between a certificate and a certification. So a certificate is a credential that confirms that you have completed a specific course or training. Certificates of completion are usually awarded by educational institutions, and they are used to demonstrate knowledge and skills in a particular subject area. In comparison, a certification is a process that verifies that you do have the required skills, knowledge, and ability to perform a specific job, skill, or role. It involves meeting specific requirements and criteria, such as completing a certain amount of educational training hours, logging a certain number of practice hours, passing an exam, and meeting ongoing continuing educational requirements. Certifications are usually granted by professional associations or independent third-party organizations, not typically the educational institution or school that you went to do your training. By completing that organization or association's requirements, you become certified in a specific skill or role. Typically, earning a certificate issued by a higher educational institution does not mean that you are certified in the topic or the discipline that you studied. Certifications, on the other hand, are recognized by industry and may be required to enter or continue to work in a specific field or position. So let's apply this to the health coaching field, which, as I've said, is still an unregulated industry, and so you can technically call yourself a health coach without any certificate or certification. The most common mistake I see happening in health coaching is that graduates of the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, IIN, their health coach training program, are calling themselves certified. But this is incorrect because IIN is not a certification. When you graduate, you receive a certificate of completion, and the title is Integrative Nutrition Health Coach. If you completed IIN's Health Coach Training Program, the HCTP, and you want to become certified and be able to call yourself certified, there are two main options or paths you can take. The first is to sit for the exam offered by the International Association of Health Coaches, the IAHC, which is an arm of IIN, so not really third party or independent. It's offered to graduates of IIN or those who have completed 200 hours of training and have 45 hours of client sessions. The title you receive after that exam is Certified International Health Coach. The IAHC has no requirement for continuing education or recertification after you take that initial exam. The second option, and really the gold standard in our industry, is to become board certified through the National Board for Health and Wellness Coaching, the NBHWC. For this, you need to have graduated from an approved training program, log 50 client coaching sessions, have an associate's degree or higher, or equivalent work experience, and then pass a 4.5-hour exam. The title you receive is National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach. So those are mainly the two options coming out of IIN for certification. If you completed a different health coach training or you went to another health coach school, then it's best to look to your training to see what credential you have and earned and what title you can use when you graduate. But be aware, just because you completed a training and received a certificate of completion does not mean you are certified. And if you do call yourself certified when you are not, you could land yourself in legal hot water over false advertising. So let's just take my case as an example. I went through 2 different health and wellness coach training programs. My first was through IIN, and as already mentioned, my title from there was Integrative Nutrition Health Coach. I was not certified after that initial course. I did then go on to do the IAHC certification. The other training I did was through Real Balance Global Wellness. I first took their Health and Wellness Coach certification, where I became certified in their Wellness Mapping 360 method of wellness coaching. And my title I earned from them is Certified Wellness and Health Coach. This certification included a number of completion requirements like 6 buddy coaching sessions, a case study, and a final exam. And I do need to complete additional CEUs and pay a recertification fee every 3 years. So hopefully that clarifies the difference between a certificate and a certification. The bottom line here, check in with your training to see what title you've earned. Now let's talk a little bit about whether you need to be certified to practice as a health coach. As already mentioned, health coaching is not a regulated career in the US and most Western countries. This means that there is no governmental body that's overseeing or regulating health and wellness coaches. Anyone can essentially hang out their shingle, so to speak, and start coaching. And whether you did a certificate or certification, after your training, you can start coaching. So you do not need to be certified to practice as a health coach. But as an unregulated industry, it means that we have a whole range of skill sets out there. It's pretty much the Wild West. We've got everyone from folks who did a weekend course to those selling supplements and shakes through MLMs, calling themselves health coaches. I personally love the credibility and standards that the NBHWC stands for and brings to our industry. So the bottom line is that it is a personal choice for you whether or not you want to become certified. It's definitely an investment of time and money and not for everyone. If you're considering it though, I did want to share some further benefits on becoming board certified. First, by becoming certified, you're demonstrating that you do uphold the national standards of up-to-date health information, that you have command of health coaching competencies, and that you can perform effective coaching practices. Secondly, with board certification, you will be very clear on your scope of practice and you'll adhere to ethical guidelines. Third, it's definitely going to enhance your credibility to earn the top credential in our field by establishing and maintaining standards of evidence-based education, training, certification, and maintenance of certification that results in really quality professional practice. Fourth, another benefit that certification brings is that it differentiates us from and allows us to maintain a competitive edge in a field that is becoming saturated by others who call themselves health coaches but truly don't have the qualifications. Fifth, board certification will also open up job opportunities, especially in hospitals, health and wellness companies, coaching organizations, and with physicians and other health professionals in clinics or wellness centers. If you want to work for an organization like this, then you'll want to consider board certification, as more and more organizations are requiring board certifications. Sixth, by going through the board certification process and all of its requirements, including getting that practical experience during those 50 sessions, you will be a more confident and competent health coach who feels ready and capable to coach others. Number 7, and likely your clients will experience better outcomes as well, because board certified health coaches are equipped with the knowledge and tools to empower clients to make sustainable lifestyle changes. Studies have actually shown that certified health coaches often yield better client outcomes, which lead to increased satisfaction and improved overall health and well-being. And number 8, finally, while right now, certification is not required to become or practice as a health coach, the field is definitely moving slowly toward regulation, so likely over time it will be required in order to practice. So those are some of the top reasons to consider board certification. So let's just do a quick recap. Be sure to check with your health coach training or school to find out if you received a certificate or certification and what title you can use. After your training, you are ready to start coaching, and you do not need to be board certified in order to do so. Just make sure you're working within the scope of practice that you received from your training. And there are lots of benefits to becoming board certified, but it is a lengthy process, and at the end of the day, it's a personal choice on what makes sense for you in your practice. So I truly hope this has helped to clarify some of the confusion around certification and helped you maybe get some clarity on whether you want to become board certified or not. And before I go, I just wanted to mention that if you've ever doubted yourself as a health coach, I really encourage you to watch the video over on the right where I explain how I went from feeling like a fraud to being a confident health coach. Thanks so much for tuning in today. See you next time.